Let me tell you something that might sting a little. If your life isn't where you want it to be, the problem is not your boss, your past, your parents, your partner, or the economy. The problem is you. And before you take that as an insult, hear me out. That's actually the best news you could ever receive. Because if you're the problem, then you're also the solution. You don't have to wait for anyone to come save you. You don't have to wait for the world to change. You just have to decide to change yourself. And the moment you do that, your world changes. But the clock is ticking. The people who love you can't wait forever. The dreams you've buried deep inside don't live forever. Potential expires when it's neglected too long. Some of you keep putting off your breakthrough, thinking you'll get to it one day. But let me ask you, how many one days have you already burned? How many times have you felt that tug in your spirit saying, fix this now, and you still pushed it aside? But procrastination isn't a time issue, it's a self-worth issue. When you believe you're valuable, you stop delaying your destiny. That pain you're feeling, that anxiety, that depression, that frustration, it's not punishment. It's a message. It's life trying to get your attention. You don't have a money problem, you have a mindset problem. You don't have a time problem, you have a discipline problem. You don't have a relationship problem, you have a self-awareness problem. Pain doesn't show up to break you. It shows up to shake you awake. But most people hit the snooze button and wonder why nothing changes. You think loving yourself means bubble baths, spa days, and positive affirmations. No. Loving yourself means holding yourself accountable. It means doing what's hard when it's not popular. It means waking up early to pray, study, grind, and grow when everyone else is sleeping. Discipline is not restriction. It's a declaration that your future matters more than your feeling. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you're saying, I love who I am becoming too much to stay who I am. And listen, your life is a reflection of your standards. Don't tell me you're serious about growth, but all your friends are lazy, negative, and broken mindset. Don't tell me you want to be free financially, but you binge TV and scroll for hours every day. Your habits tell the truth. Your surroundings tell the truth. Your results don't lie. They reveal. If your life is messy, scattered, and stuck, that's not random. That's the fruit of your standards. Raise them. There is no future version of you that suddenly becomes disciplined, passionate, and purpose-driven without you choosing it right now. You're not waiting on a sign. You're not waiting on better timing. You're not even waiting on God. He's already put the answer inside of you. You're waiting on yourself. And every day you wait, you drift further from the life you were born to live. You've been called to more. You know it. That feeling you get when you see someone doing what you wish you were doing, that's not envy. That's evidence. Evidence that greatness is inside of you too. But greatness doesn't just show up, it's activated. And it's activated when you stop playing small and start taking ownership. You don't get forever. Some point you'll run out of chances. And the scariest part, you may not even know when that moment comes. So fix yourself. Not later, not tomorrow, now. Fix your mindset, fix your habits, fix your circle, fix your faith. Because if you don't, your life won't just stay the same, it'll get worse. Purpose doesn't sit on pause while you procrastinate, it moves on. Legacy doesn't wait for you to be ready. It demands that you show up ready or not. So stop lying to yourself. Stop making excuses. And stop pretending you've got time. Fix yourself before it's too late. Because your future, your family, your legacy, they're all depending on it. If you're looking for real change, lasting change, the kind that transforms not just your income, but your identity, then you have to start with a truth most people run from. You are the problem. Now, before you get defensive, let's reframe that. You being the problem means you're also the solution. That's empowering, that's liberating. Because if someone else was the problem, then you'd be stuck until they changed. But if it's you, then the power is in your hands. You can change, you can pivot, you can grow. That means your freedom isn't on the other side of someone else's apology, approval, or permission. It's on the other side of your decision. Too many people spend their entire lives waiting for external change to create internal peace. They think if I just had a better job, I'd be happier. Or if my spouse understood me, I'd feel more motivated. Or if I didn't have this past, this trauma, this pain, I'd be more successful. But the truth is, you can't outrun yourself. Wherever you go, there you are. And if your mind is cluttered, if your habits are broken, if your beliefs are toxic, then nothing on the outside will ever fix what's broken on the inside. You've got to stop blaming your upbringing. You've got to stop pointing fingers at people who did you wrong. Yes, they hurt you. Yes, they may have set you back, but it's your responsibility to get up and move forward. Blame is a thief. It robs you of the very power you need to heal. Every time you say, it's their fault, you've just been distracted. You've been lied to by a world that profits off your passivity. But deep down, you know the truth. You were built for more. You were born to lead. But before you can lead others, you have to lead yourself. Taking responsibility doesn't mean you beat yourself up. It means you wake yourself up. It means you stop tolerating excuses and start demanding growth. It means you look in the mirror and say, I got myself into this mess and I will get myself out. That's not arrogance. That's ownership. And ownership is the first step to breakthrough. Because the moment you own it is the moment you can change it. Most people will never reach their potential because they're addicted to blame. They're more committed to being a victim than they are to being victorious. But not you. Not if you're still reading this. There's something in your spirit that knows you're meant for more. So lean into that. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Stop praying for a rescue and start preparing for a rebuild. The truth is, God already gave you the tools, you just haven't picked them up yet. And when you do, when you finally take radical, unshakable, undeniable responsibility for your life, everything changes. Because if you're the problem, then you're also the possibility. And that's the good news. Pain is one of the greatest teachers you'll ever encounter, but most people try to silence it instead of listening to it. They medicate it, ignore it, run from it, numb it with distractions, or bury it under busyness. But pain doesn't show up in your life to destroy you. It shows up to develop you. It's not here to curse you. It's here to call you higher. The problem is we treat pain like an enemy when it's actually a message. And until you receive the message, the pain will keep knocking. Pain says something needs to change. It says, wake up, pay attention. You've outgrown this version of yourself. Whether it's emotional pain, financial struggle, relational breakdown, or spiritual dryness, it all carries a message. Pain is your soul saying you were never meant to stay here. And the longer you avoid it, the louder it gets. That's why what starts as discomfort becomes crisis. What starts as a whisper becomes a roar. And it's not because life is against you, it's because your purpose is calling and you keep hitting decline. Understand this, pain is precision. It doesn't show up in your life randomly. It targets areas of weakness, areas of compromise, areas that are misaligned with who you're called to be. You're frustrated because things are falling apart, but maybe they're not falling apart, they're falling into place. Maybe what you think is punishment is actually protection. Maybe what feels like a breakdown is really the setup for your breakthrough. But you'll never get the lesson if you keep labeling the pain as a problem instead of a process. People want promotion without pressure. They want growth without discomfort, but that's not how transformation works. Diamonds are made under pressure. Muscles are built through resistance. Gold is refined in fire, and your destiny is forged in the furnace of pain. So the next time life presses you, don't complain. Pay attention. Ask yourself, what is this trying to teach me? Where have I settled? What have I tolerated? What am I clinging to that I should have released a long time ago? See, most people pray for deliverance from pain, but what they need is revelation through pain. Because once you get the revelation, the pain has done its job. The moment you shift from why is this happening to me to what is this revealing in me, that's when you grow. That's when the pain becomes power. That's when suffering becomes strength. So don't curse the pain. Don't resent it. Don't try to rush past it. Instead, respect it. Embrace it. Let it do its work in you. Let it break what needs to be broken. Let it expose what's been hidden. Let it stretch you, shape you, sharpen you, because on the other side of that pain is the person you were born to become. The healed version, the elevated version, the unstoppable version. Pain is not the enemy, it's the invitation. The question is, will you answer it? Most people talk about self-love like it's some feel-good emotion. They think it's about treating yourself, pampering yourself, saying nice things to yourself. But let me tell you the truth. Real self-love isn't always soft. It doesn't always feel good. Sometimes it feels like waking up at 5 a.m. when you want to sleep. Sometimes it looks like saying no when everyone else is saying yes. Sometimes it means pushing through pain, silence, or rejection because you know the version of you on the other side is worth the fight. That's discipline. And discipline is self-love in action. When you love yourself, you stop making decisions based on how you feel in the moment and start making decisions based on who you want to become. You stop chasing comfort and start choosing commitment because you realize the future version of you, the focused you, the financially free you, the spiritually grounded you is being built in every decision you make today. And discipline is the bridge that gets you there. Not talent, not luck, discipline. You say you love yourself, but your habits don't agree. You say you want success, but your consistency says otherwise. You can't say you care about your future while treating your present like it doesn't matter. Every time you skip that workout, scroll instead of study, spend instead of save, you're choosing momentary ease over long-term freedom. Discipline flips that. Discipline says, I may not feel like it, but I'm doing it anyway because my purpose is bigger than my preference. Discipline is choosing what you want most over what you want now. And that's not restrictive, that's respect. That's love. That's how you prove to yourself, not to say to yourself, that you matter. Think about it. When a parent disciplines a child, it's not because they hate them. It's because they love them enough not to let them self-destruct. So when you discipline yourself, you're parenting your potential. You're saying, I love myself too much to stay in cycles that steal from my future. The world is full of people who want results but resist routine. They want transformation without the process. But transformation requires consistency. And consistency is fueled by discipline, not hype, not motivation, discipline. That quiet, unglamorous force that separates the dreamers from the doers. The average from the extraordinary. You're not always going to feel inspired. You're not always going to feel ready. But if you've got discipline, you'll show up anyway. And every time you do, you're casting a vote for the person you're becoming. Discipline builds self-trust. It tells your mind, when I say I'm going to do something, I mean it. And the more you trust yourself, the more momentum you create. So don't confuse discipline with punishment. It's not about restriction. It's about liberation. It's how you break free from the habits, addictions, and excuses that have kept you small. It's how you stop sabotaging your calling and start walking in your purpose. That's what real self-love looks like. It's not always pretty. It's not always easy. But it's always powerful and it always pays off. Look around at your life, your relationships, your habits, your finances, your physical space. All of it is a mirror, a reflection of your standards. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you tolerate. If your environment is chaotic, inconsistent, uninspiring, or full of people who drain you, it's not by accident. It's evidence of the level you've accepted for yourself. Your environment always tells the truth about your inner world. People who are serious about growth don't just upgrade their goals, they upgrade their surroundings because they understand that what's around you either pulls you up or pulls you down. You can't expect to rise while you're rooted in low standards. You can't expect to live in purpose when you're surrounded by people who are allergic to accountability, allergic to faith, allergic to vision. If everyone in your circle is comfortable being average, guess what becomes your norm? Average. The harsh truth is most people keep environments that are comfortable, not transformational. You stay in the same friendships because they don't challenge you. You keep the same habits because they don't stretch you. You hold on to that clutter, that noise, those distractions because they don't require change. But comfort never creates growth. Growth happens when you intentionally disrupt the old patterns and elevate your standards. Your environment includes what you listen to, what you watch, what you speak, what you consume daily. If you're always feeding on negativity, gossip, fear, or entertainment with no substance, you are conditioning your mind for mediocrity. What goes in is what comes out. Garbage in, garbage out. But greatness in, greatness out. Excellence doesn't just show up, it's cultivated. And the way you cultivate it is by building an environment that aligns with where you're going, not where you've been. This is why some people can't grow no matter how much they pray or plan. It's not that they lack desire, it's that they're surrounded by decay, trying to build a palace while living in a junkyard. You need to do an audit. Who speaks into your life? Who do you give your time and energy to? What does your physical space say about your priorities? What habits rule your daily routine? Because your results are never random. They are always rooted in the environment you've created or allowed. You cannot elevate in a space designed for stagnation. If you want better, raise the bar. Set a new standard. Clean your space, silence distractions, distance yourself from drama, make room for mentors, for vision, for structure. Excellence is not an event, it's an ecosystem. And your environment is either fertilizing your growth or feeding your excuses. So ask yourself, does my environment inspire discipline or distraction? Does it challenge me or coddle me? Does it serve my purpose or sabotage it? Because when you change what's around you, you change what's inside you. And when you change what's inside you, you change what's possible for your life. Your standards determine your space, and your space shapes your success. So if you're serious about transformation, don't just fix your mindset, fix your environment. Because your future can't grow in a place built for your past. The lie most people believe is that growth just happens with time. That if they wait long enough, life will eventually get better. But time doesn't change you. Decisions do. You're not waiting on destiny. Destiny is waiting on you. Growth doesn't come with age, it comes with action. You don't get wiser just because the calendar flipped. You get wiser because you made a choice to confront the truth, do the work, and break the pattern. So if your growth is delayed, it's not because you're unlucky or unqualified. It's because you chose delay. Every time you say, I'll do it later, what you're really saying is it's not important enough yet. And if your purpose isn't important to you, don't expect it to be important to anyone else. That dream you keep putting off, that vision you keep shelving, that healing you keep avoiding, none of it is on pause because the universe said no. It's on pause because you haven't said yes with your actions. Growth is not something that finds you, it's something you commit to. It's something you pursue with urgency, with focus, with fire. Most people act like they've got all the time in the world, but the truth is you don't. And deep down, you know that. You feel it when you lie awake at night, knowing you could have done more. You feel it when you watch someone else succeed, and that voice inside whispers, that could have been you. That tension you feel, that frustration, that's not failure. It's potential trying to wake you up. But if you keep hitting snooze on your calling, don't be surprised when your life stays stuck. Delayed growth is a decision. It's a decision to stay comfortable instead of getting committed. It's a decision to keep rehearsing your excuses instead of rewriting your future. It's a decision to prioritize ease over excellence. And the dangerous part is delayed growth doesn't look like destruction. It looks like almost started, almost consistent, almost ready, but almost doesn't change lives. Almost doesn't create legacy. Almost is the language of regret. You've got to stop telling yourself that you'll start when it's easier, when it's quieter, when it's more convenient. Growth doesn't wait for perfect conditions. It demands you move in imperfect ones. You don't need more time. You need more intention. You need to decide that the future you want matters more than the fears you're feeding. Because every day you delay is a day you decide to settle for less. And the truth is, you were never designed for average. That's why it feels so uncomfortable. That's why mediocrity bothers you, because your soul knows there's more, but knowing isn't enough. Wanting isn't enough. You have to decide. You have to act. You have to stop waiting for permission and start creating momentum. Because your growth is not a matter of chance, it's a matter of choice. And the longer you delay, the more you convince yourself that stagnation is your destiny. But it's not. It never was. You're not stuck. You're just undecided. And the moment you make the decision to grow, to really grow, to change, to commit, to show up, no matter how uncomfortable, that's the moment everything shifts. Not because the world changes, but because you do. Growth isn't waiting on the calendar. Growth is waiting on your commitment. So stop delaying what you were born to become. Decide, move, build, and do it now. Legacy doesn't care about your comfort zone. It doesn't wait for you to feel ready, qualified, or confident. Legacy demands action now, while you're uncertain, while you're still healing, while you're still figuring it out. Because legacy isn't about perfection, it's about purpose. It's about the impact you're willing to make even when you're scared, even when the vision is bigger than your resources, and even when no one claps for you yet. Too many people are living under the illusion that they have time. They think they can delay their obedience, their calling, their discipline, and that someday it will just feel right. But legacy doesn't come to the person who waits. It comes to the one who works. You don't build a legacy in your mind, you build it in your daily decisions. In the quiet, unseen moments when nobody's watching, in the sacrifices you make, the standards you raise, and the values you refuse to compromise. You don't need to be perfect to start. You just need to be faithful. Faithful with what you have. Faithful with your story, even if it's still messy. Faithful with your gift, even if it's still being developed. The world is full of people with potential who are still sitting on the sidelines, waiting for the stars to align. But legacy doesn't wait for perfect conditions. Legacy shows up in the storm. It shows up when your back is against the wall. It shows up when you decide that playing small is no longer acceptable. You keep thinking, I'm not ready yet. But the truth is, if you're still breathing, you're already responsible. Responsible for the influence you carry, responsible for the message inside you, responsible for the lives you were meant to touch. And if you keep waiting for readiness, you'll miss the assignment that was meant to activate your next level. Ready is not a feeling. Ready is a decision. Legacy isn't something you leave when you die. It's something you live while you're here. It's the example you set, the values you embody, the way you show up when it's hard, the way you refuse to quit even when quitting would be easier. Legacy is built every time you choose growth over comfort, discipline over distraction, and obedience over excuses. So stop telling yourself that you'll step up one day. One day is not on the calendar. All you have is today. What are you doing with it? Who are you impacting with it? Because while you're debating, delaying, and doubting, time is moving. People are watching. And your opportunity is slipping, not because it's gone, but because you refused to move toward it. The truth is, the version of you that builds a legacy isn't a future version. It's the disciplined, committed version of you that decides today is the day. No more waiting, no more shrinking, no more hiding behind preparation as a form of procrastination. You don't need more time, you need more courage. Legacy